Hi, I'm Wongster1970 and today I'm going to be installing the replacement short tube exhaust headers on my 2001 Ford F150 with the 5.4 liter engine. Let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is disconnect the negative battery terminal, and that is an 8mm. Get that out of the way. This side of the truck, get this wheel off and see if I can get into this exhaust header. Now that I got the wheel off, can see up in there where the exhaust header bolts are. I'm gonna have to get up in there, put some lube on them. On those flange bolts and see if I can get them off. Well, it took a lot longer than what I anticipated, of course. I ended up busting both of those bolts off, and I had to take this entire inner fender off, which I did not have to do before. And I noticed that I have a hole back here that I need to fix, so I'll have to go from inside and seal that up. Now I should be able, hopefully, to get into these bolts, at least some of them. I think I had to get some from the bottom and some from the top, if I remember the last time. So I'll get to working on them. Okay, I used this saw that I picked up from Harbor Freight, reciprocating saw, and I cut the old header off. I still have a mounting flange here that I need to get off. Hopefully I can get into that lower bolt and the upper one without any issues, and I can get this taken off. Okay, I got the flange off, the gasket off. I just have to clean up that mating surface some. Might use a block of wood and some 200 grit sandpaper. We'll see how it comes off. I went and I sanded it down with some 60 grit sandpaper, and then went back over with some 220. This corner here is messed up. It has been. It looks almost like it oxidized away or something. I don't know. But yeah, I know there's going to be so many people who are like, don't ever use sandpaper on it. I used a block of wood and some sandpaper. It's just the way I've always done it. So I'm going to go and tap these holes out, and then I should be ready to put the header back on. Now that I got the old header out, I'm going to take the paper out of here that it's blocking the hole with. I put some POR back in this corner to cover up some of this rust. I'm going to put this new header in there. I put some tape over here because it's a very tight fit, and I usually end up hitting that top support trying to go in here. Okay, let me get the number C's and the gasket, and I'll be back. I got to put these studs on the exhaust, or on the header. They go down in here. So I'm going to put some of this red Loctite on. I was going to try to pull them back out to do this, and I'm like, no. Makes it way too complicated. Not going to be easy, is it? I might have to take them back out. Okay, I'm gonna have to try to get that out. Okay, got the studs on here, and to do that, I put these two nuts on. Acted as a jam, put a jam nut on, and then that was a 5/8 wrench 2 5/8" wrenches, and then just tighten it down into place. And it's got red Loctite on it, so that's not going to work out. So now I'm going to slide that back down in there. So I'm getting stuck. Ah, come on. How'd you get stuck on there? This looks like it's a 7/16. So I'm just gonna go enlarge a hole here. You can see that. Take her one size up to a 15/32. There we go. Now let's see if that'll fit. I'm just going to take that bolt the whole way out. I finally got this spread apart enough down here. I was able to get the bolts through, the studs through. So now I'm gonna install the exhaust manifold gasket. And that is upside down. Should go this way. No. Looks like it's gonna go this way. I would have thought it would have went the other way, but hey. See if we can get one started. one started. Let's put one in here. This last bolt, top, rear, on the passenger side will not clear because there's a weld right there. So options are drill the weld or cut the weld down, or slightly shave down this bolt. I don't want to tear up the ceramic coating, so I'm probably going to end up, unfortunately, grinding a little bit of this off. Otherwise I have to pull this back out and drill a hole bigger. Great, now I'm stuck. I'm stuck again. Well, I ended up drilling the hole bigger. I didn't want to do it. And that little bit that I took off of the corner of the bolt is enough to allow me to get through there. So hopefully now I can get this together. So I can get these nuts started. Where did my other one go? Okay, I found my other nut. Get it started. Okay, gasket again. This way. Go. It should be good. Well, I got all the bolts in, and the ones that I could torque, I torqued. The other ones, I just tightened them as tight as I could with a wrench, and hopefully we have no leaks. Now I'm going to tighten up this here, the exhaust manifold to Y-pipe bolts. I say 30 foot-pounds, 25 to 30. Book says 25 to 35 foot-pounds. These are 16 millimeter nut. Using 16 millimeter. This takes a 16 millimeter socket. And I'm stuck. There we go. I'm gonna have to get me probably a long extension. Okay, let's see if I can get this up there even. Set it to 20. Set her to 20 foot-pounds. I didn't trust it. 25 to 35 seems a little too tight. Looks like it's sealed pretty good. I'm gonna go and take a break and then come back out and put the rest of this back together. Okay, I'm going to be installing this ground strap, and that is, looks like it's going to take a 14 millimeter. Got that on. I'm going to reattach the wires. Ground wire's still down there. The positive wire needs to be reattached to the starter and the solenoid wire. But I'm also going to install the other bolt that I took off. This bolt that goes up to hold this wire on for the air conditioning, or the hose on for the air conditioning. This is a 5/16 socket. I'm gonna find it. Ready to go. I got that. Oh, I have to climb underneath and take care of the starter wires. Let's do that quick. That looks like it is a, I think that was a 13 millimeter. So let me get my 13 millimeter wrench, and I think that was a 8, 10. Maybe a 10. Let me check. Okay, reconnected this wire, and they tightened up this other one. That was a 13 millimeter, and I think everything is connected down here. Here's the wires going up to, I mean, there's the nuts connecting the catalytic converters up to the short tube header, and all the bolts up there are tight. I'm going to move on to the other side. I'm going to leave this fender well out for now. See, this is the driver's side header pipe, and there are going to be a couple on this side that are probably going to be tough to get to. I can see one. Looks like it was leaking. Oh, great, that's got to come off. And that looks pretty rusty. I have to put some PB on that. These two bolts down here have got to come off, and they're probably going to end up snapping off like the other ones did. And I've got a bolt that is broken off up here. I've tried to fix that, get that out of there a couple of times already, and I've not been successful. It's a very, very bad spot. This bracket here is not removable. At least I don't think so. I think it's welded to the frame, or it's behind the steering box. That's what I need to get out. So I have to climb up underneath. I think the dipstick tube has got to come out. I had replaced that before. I can see it's starting to rust again. It's not horrible down there. Hopefully it'll come out. It's not giving me any hard time. It might have been leaking up there too. So that's it. I guess I'll lube this up and try to get that off. It's not going to come down through as one piece. It's definitely got to disconnect from there. And then I'll lube these up. I seriously doubt they're going to come off. They're going to snap. I'm trying to get these bolts out. Well, no luck with that. I'm probably going to end up having to cut that off, unfortunately. There's no way I'm going to cut through all those pipes. I'm going to have to cut back here, and then that base one, maybe. We'll see how it goes. Might just have to cut that off, and then hopefully those 2 bolts will break off down there and I can get the rest out. Okay, I've got all the bolts out. They're hard to see. There's a couple hidden back behind there. One's on the bottom, and there's a bolt right there that I had to remove for the dipstick tube. The dipstick tube fortunately came out and it went up through. I had one rusted off on me before. And the only problem I'm having is with this piece right here. I'm gonna have to get out the saw and hack that off. Okay, we've got a stud back up in there that I need to get out. I had to remove the steering shaft and I pulled it up out of the way as far as I could get it. Hopefully I can get a 90-degree drill in there. Drive shaft is just hanging there. Here is one of the bolts. There is 6 of these holding that in. 2, 4, 6, 8 I think holding that in. And they were one of these. But I think it was a 12 millimeter. It's somewhere around here. I'll have to find it then. But anyways, I'm going to try to clean that up and then I'll be back. Okay, this is the socket that I did take the drive shaft bolts out with, and that is a 12 millimeter. I think it's a 16 point. I used this disc. This is a coarse disc on my die grinder, and if you can see up in there, it is cleaned off some. Hopefully it's good enough. And I just gotta wait till tomorrow whenever I get the jig to mount over top of that, and hopefully that takes care of it. This is the screw extractor kit I'm going to try, X002 MGJ6L5. Picked this up off of Amazon. It's extreme, amazing exhaust manifold bolt extractor, whatever. Comes with this metal bar, the screw on it, and you put this in there. So you have the metal bar, screw, this. Comes with this extractor and 2 nuts. I guess you have studs already on there. You're going to have the nuts to tighten this on. I'm going to spray some PB up in these holes. Spray some of that last one too. I already treated it the other night. And then I'm going to put a couple studs in here. This should be an M8 by 1.25. I use this die on it. Okay, we're on. Now, with any luck, I can drill in there straight. Okay, I have a carbide bit on here. I'm going to try getting this out with that. If it does anything. can see up in there, I have made some progress. We're up to 5/16 drill bit. Hoping to punch through that today. I'm going to use this plate, and I'm going to be using this cobalt drill bit I picked up from Milwaukee drill bit, picked up from Home Depot, part number 48892317. Hopefully that does it. And you can see I do have some threads up in there. It's not pretty, that's for sure. Hopefully it holds. I'm not sure if it will or not, but I'm not going to tighten it down very tight. And if it holds a bolt, I'll be happy with that. I don't know what that stud was made out of, but I couldn't get through it. So let's go and get the exhaust put back on. Okay, I got the two studs on here. I got them sealed with red Loctite, and I used these jam nuts on here to tighten them down. Now I'm going to go and feed the exhaust, this header, up through. It's going to have to come down through and up to sit up on there. Ran into the same problem I ran into on the other side, where these two studs were too close together. I had to actually take a couple wrenches and spread them apart. So that's started. Now I can get my exhaust gasket on and get this header to start bolt back up. By the way, this was a pain to get up in there. Just like the other side, there's basically only one way that this will go in. And if you get it in the wrong way, it gets hung up, you're pinched in there, and it's a pain to get back out. Probably disconnecting the steering linkage helped, but it was a tight fit. Okay, I have all the header bolts torqued down to 12 foot-pounds. I have the oil fill tube, dipstick tube installed, and I need to torque down the steering rod, and I need to torque down the Y-pipe bolts. Also have the EGR valve installed. I had to get a replacement, I had to install a replacement EGR tube, and I had to bend it some to be able to get it to fit. So that is installed, and I think now I'm going to tighten up that bolt like I said, and then I'm going to go and I got to torque down both sides of the Y-pipe. Okay, I got the exhaust all connected here. I found out that this one stud lines right up with the O2 sensor. I was going to remove that, but I couldn't get it out, so I just disconnected the plug and worked around it. So those are tight. This header is on. There's something on this side I need to connect yet, I think. And let's go to the other side. Okay, I got this cover back on. Everything's installed there. And over here, I got the exhaust on this side. So everything should be ready to go here also. I think I can connect the negative terminal now. So I clean up some stuff here. Well, whenever I thought about replacing or taking the starter out, so it'd be easier to get into this header pipe, I ended up breaking one of the bolts off or busting something internally on the starter. So whenever I got it back together, it wouldn't start. So I had to get a replacement starter. That is a new starter from Advanced Auto. I don't have the part number, but I got everything together. It starts up, and any other thing I want to do is install the exhaust clamp. I'll show you where. I want to install a band clamp on here because the other clamp broke off. So I'm going to get that installed quick, hopefully quick. Oh, I want to get the drive shaft back on. And hopefully that does it. Front axle shaft is reinstalled. I torqued those bolts down to 70 foot-pounds. Okay, that is a 2.5 inch band clamp. I couldn't find a 2 3/4, and 3 inch was definitely too big. So hopefully that works. We'll give it a try. Well, I torqued the wheel lug nuts to 120 foot-pounds. Got the truck lowered back down on the ground, and everything should be good to go. That'll do it for installing replacement headers on my 2001 F150 crew cab. Hope you enjoyed this. Super crew cab. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and stay safe.